So let's go over my favorite players at every position. Not just ever. Not just in the NFL now. Ever. But these guys are going to be people who I actually saw play. So, as you can see, the offense, it still has a couple positions I haven't filled yet, and that's because they don't have cards in Madden. So this was the easiest way I found to do it. So the offensive line, yes, it's mostly Steelers, but 3 out of 5. But just there is the offensive line. Unless you are an offensive lineman and you style your game after a specific few people, then it's like, okay, cool, you have a bunch of favorites. But this is what I came up with. So Joe Thomas, Quentin Nelson, Marquise Pouncey, David Castro, and Kelvin Beachum. For those of you that do not know, Kelvin Beachum started his career off with Pittsburgh before going to, I believe, Jacksonville, then the Jets, and then the Cardinals. He was a left tackle when he was in Pittsburgh, but I'm playing him here at right because that's what his thing was. If I could have played him at left, I would probably put him over Joe. And then at right, maybe another Steeler with a guy like Marcus Gilbert. Tight end, George Kittle. As much as I love Pat Freiermuth, Kittle's my favorite. If you were asking me for a second that I saw play, probably Tony Gonzalez. Maybe Antonio Gates. Wide receivers. I know my camera's covering part of this, but Kelvin Johnson is in the first spot. Then Andre Johnson. And then at the third receiver spot, he doesn't have a card in Madden, but Antonio Brown. Everything that, has been going on since he left the Steelers and also while he was still in Pittsburgh with the Steelers, I can't deny what he did. Halfback, Le'Veon Bell. Again, doesn't have a card in Madden, but it's Lev Bell. He was my favorite player on the Steelers when he was there, and it broke my heart to see him leave. Next, quarterback. I really thought about it. I did. And I tried to find a guy besides Ben Roethlisberger, and I just couldn't. I love the Madden 24 cover athlete, Josh Allen, but I just couldn't do it. Ben, he was the guy I watched growing up. He was the first quarterback I remember seeing as the quarterback for the Steelers. He was drafted when I was 7 years old. Even then, I didn't become a Steelers fan until I was 12, 5 years after. Ben is all I've ever known. Fullback, it's Kyle Juszczyk. After him, maybe Rosie Nix, who was a fullback for the Steelers. Defense. Let's start at the linebackers. Right outside linebacker, doesn't have a card. Really wish he did. James Harrison. Debo, as people would call him. He would be my top right outside linebacker choice. Middle linebacker, Ryan Shazier. He was also one of my favorites when he was with the Steelers. Sign. So, yes, he was definitely one of my favorites. It was very unfortunate, his injury. I did just finish reading his book as well recently, which was titled Walking Miracle. It was a very good book. Check it out if you have not. Next, Brian Cushing. And a few of you may be like, Brian Cushing? It's yeah, Brian Cushing. For some reason, he was just one of my favorite linebackers. He was. I loved his leadership. I loved his play on the field. Like, if I had played football and I was a linebacker, I probably would have styled my game after him. TJ Watt. I think that's it. What else can you say? Safeties. We'll start at the strong since he's actually here. Kam Chancellor. Again, had I played football and I was a safety, I think Cam's who I would have styled my game after. A lot of these are, had I played football, I would have styled my game after this guy. I never played football. At least not like on a team. It's you play during recess or you play in the street with your friends. I did all that. Free safety. By the way, strong safety, really, really, really could put Troy Polamalu. But I decided to put Kam Chancellor. Free safety, Ryan Clark. I could have put Sean Taylor, but I don't really remember seeing Sean Taylor play. But Ryan Clark. He was, again, just like Kam Chancellor. It's the big hitter. Then let's move to the corners. Patrick Peterson. Come on, guys. It's Pat Pete. Plus the fact that he's a Steeler now. James Bradbury. I liked him in Carolina. I liked him with the Giants. I wanted him when he left the Giants. And he went to the Eagles. And then I wanted him when he was going to leave the Eagles. And then he didn't leave the Eagles. He's one of my favorite corners in the league. At the slot, Mike Hilton. When Lev Bell left, Mike Hilton was my favorite Steeler. I noticed him in the preseason. He was wearing 40. That was his number. I'm like, man, he can really play. And he just worked his way up. It went from 40. I think Ross Cockrell got traded, which allowed him to take 31. And then after some number shifting between Mike Mitchell being cut or leaving, one of the two, that gave 23 to Joe Hayden. Because Joe Hayden played with 21 for a year. That gave Hayden 23. Sean Davis was able to go from 28 to 21. And then Mike Hilton went from 31 to 28. But Mike was by far one of my favorites. And it hurt when he went to Cincinnati. It did. So, let's go to the D-line. Right in, Cam Hayward. What else can you say about Cam? That hasn't been said by many. He is the pros pro. He's amazing off the field. Amazing on the field. Sorry if I seem a little tired. It's almost midnight. Javon Hargrave. Congratulations on the deal that you got with San Francisco. He was one of my favorites when he was in Pittsburgh. Hurt when he left to Philadelphia. And TJ's older brother, JJ. I really would like to see him and TJ play together, as would many Steelers fans. But, he's going to retire. I'm happy for him. Great career. But just, he was, one of my favorites to watch even before TJ, was going through the draft process. Before I even learned about TJ, JJ was one of my favorites. TJ was, a tight end in college football, and I'm like, go JJ! So as you can see, I got a little bit of variation here, but it still circles around a tough playing style. Clark and Chancellor, who were punishing safeties. Mike Hilton was so physical out of the slot when he would blitz the quarterback. It's Peterson and Bradbury compressed. They're physical corners. So it definitely, I don't know if maybe I styled this after what I think I would have been as a football player. Because, if you guys don't know, I'm 6'4". Like, I have good size. So, a guy like Cam Chancellor who was 6'3". Bradbury's like 6'1", 6'2", I think. I think he's 6'1". Pat P is like 6'1". Mike Hilton, yes, small, like 5'9", but physical. So, and then if we go back to the offense, if you take out the offensive line, it's big receiver, a small tight end. I would classify Juszczyk as. All right, punter and kicker. Neither of these guys have cards anymore. Punter, as many people would probably pick their favorite punter, Pat McAfee. He was a guy who, from Pittsburgh, I wish he could have gone to Pittsburgh at some point before he retired. But congrats to him on getting that ESPN deal. Fun fact is he and I share a birthday. We both share a birthday on May 2nd. So, just, he's from Pittsburgh. Hilarious guy. Same birthday. He's my favorite punter ever. Kicker. There's a wide variety of guys. Whether you talk about Chris Boswell, the current Steelers kicker, who I have a signed picture of actually right up there on my wall. Whether it's Justin Tucker from Baltimore, or maybe like an Adam Vinatieri, who is currently the best kicker ever, and that will be taken by Justin Tucker whenever he retires. There's a few guys. But my favorite kicker would be Sean Sweeson, who was the kicker before Chris Boswell. He was actually the kicker, I think 2 kickers before Boz, because Sean got hurt in the preseason trying to make a tackle on a kickoff. The team then traded for Josh Scobie from Jacksonville. And then that didn't work out. So they had, tryouts. They're working out different kickers, and Boz got the job, and ever since then, it's been Boz. If you were to... But my favorite kicker is Sean. If you were to ask me for a second kicker, that is tough, but I would probably say... I'd probably say Tucker. And as the second punter, 100% without a doubt, Marquette King. 100% without a doubt. If it's not Pat McAfee, it's Marquette. So, that is it. I'm not going to do, kick returner, because that's a secondary thing. I could easily say Hester, Percy Harvin, I'm trying to think of who else, but yeah, I'm not gonna do something like that because Hester was a corner then receiver, and Harvin was a receiver. Yeah, they returned, but they were also an actual position. But that is it. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like. I'm trying to grow the channel. I know this has been the first video in a while. I've been a little busy doing other things with my other channel, and I've not really had too many ideas here. Plus, it's been a little quiet as far as the NFL is concerned. I could probably talk about, the players getting in trouble for gambling in a future video, but we'll see. But please, leave a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and turn notifications on. That way you get the videos when they come out. I will see everyone in the next video. Thanks for watching.